As I've looked around this past year on a lot of the items that I own, I realized that there's one recurring theme, and that for a lot of these items, they're going to be small and compact. Oftentimes, when we have these big items, I've realized that we can easily leave them in the dust. So today, I want to contend and say that it is actually the smaller and more compact devices that will have a bigger and a more powerful impact on our lives. If your goal this year is to read more, I would suggest trying small compact books or trying your hand at a Kindle. Why I say this is I've always had a tough, difficult gripe with hardcover books. They don't feel good this is just me, they don't feel good in the hand. If you're trying to lay down or find a different ergonomic position in order to read, it can be a little bit complicated. But as soon as you kind of get your hands, so first off, this is a Lord of the Rings box set. I made a video about reading fantasy books in 2025 earlier this year. These books are super small, a little bit bigger than my hand, and these and the size of this book, when I was looking at different editions, I knew that I wanted two things. I wanted one, something that was small and compact, but also two, I wanted a soft cover, soft back book, because I knew that that would actually get me into reading more. On the flip side, in that same way, what can end up happening is when you do read more, then you're going to read in the day and at night. My difficulty reading at night is that we didn't have too good of lighting, and I know I could get one of those headlamps or something of that instance, and I feel like I eventually will go down that route. But the thing that really has helped with nighttime reading and then also spiking my reading exponentially has been Kindle Basic 2024. Now, the Kindles, they come in a bunch of different models, as you know. My biggest suggestion would be always checking your local Facebook marketplace and seeing what's happening. The person who owned this one that I'm holding in my hands, he used it one time in 2024 and decided it wasn't for him. So I got it at a great price and I've just been using the heck out of it. I have read probably 5 or 6 different books and I can put it on the screen. But the reason for that is because it's just so easy to sit down and read at night. It's easy when I wake up. That's the first thing I do is reach down, pick it up, turn down the brightness so I don't wake up my wife, and I'm just reading away. I enjoy how it feels in my hand too. I had to change up the case on it, but I like being able to kind of hold it. You can see right there. I like holding it just like pinched between 3 of my fingers, and it's just so comfortable. If it was any bigger, I'm not sure that I'd be a fan of it, but I think it's dope. It also passes the fits in my pockets category, even though I wouldn't necessarily, but it does fit in a tote bag. And if they fit in my tote bag, then they're on their way with me. And you are looking for books, support a local bookstore in your area. I live in Denver here, and the most recent one I went to was the Broadway Book Mall. I got a bunch of different books. I got one hardcover, but that was because I've been really wanting that book. But all my other ones, they're small, vintage editions, different colorways, all that. Small, tiny books, and I know that I'm going to crush through them later this month. On the devices side, we talk about pairings. I talk about pairings all the time because I love food, right? Bacon and eggs, or if we're talking steak and fries. I had steak frites the other night, bro. Phenomenal. In the same way, I always look at my iPhone 13 mini and my AirPods in the same way. When I leave for work in the morning, of course, I'm going to have my phone. Almost instinctively, when I get into the car, I oftentimes forget if I put my AirPods in my pocket or not because I can't even feel them. But it's instinct. It's chapstick. It's my small wallet. It's my iPhone 13 mini, and I'm good to go. The iPhone 13 mini, I was happy to get eventually. I had the 11 and it died, and so I got this one maybe 2 years ago. I plan on holding on to it for a long time because they're no longer going to make the mini editions, which bums me out. I enjoy the size of it. I enjoy ergonomically how it feels. The downside to that is if you're going to be using your devices more, something like a cell phone, you have to make sure that you're setting limiters for yourself. So I have the limiters for social media and a bunch of those different things so that I'm interacting with it, but not interacting with it too much. So the AirPods that I have, they're nice and small. They fit inside my ear really well. And if I'm at work or if I'm skateboarding or if I'm working out, I probably have AirPods in, and it makes it easy that I can carry it with me everywhere I go. Also, the Miu Mini. So I have 2 devices that I love because I love the Game Boy Advance so much. So RG 351P and then the Miu Mini. And let me just say, those 2 devices are the pinnacle for me for how to play a Game Boy Advance game. Game Boy Advance is actually my favorite device of all time because that was the first one that I could actually own for myself. And so these days, being able to hop into the car if my wife is driving, we typically split up, right? When she's driving, then I'm maybe on my Kindle or playing a device and talking and hanging out. And we switch off on the way home so that she can then play the Switch Lite if she's playing Ace Attorney, or she could read, do whatever she's feeling. Miu Mini is just so beautiful. It's like looking at glass. And so there's a awe factor, there's a swag factor. Take it out with you. You have all your games loaded on it, trade off with friends. Yeah, it's just so much fun. Miu Mini, especially now, I'm not sure the pricing currently. This is a perfect gift to somebody, especially if you know someone is trying to get back into gaming, or if it's for yourself to say, I have kids, I don't have a lot of time, maybe I have 5 minutes at a time just to pick up and go. It's harder to fire up a full console and to find time or to not be discreet. If you have kids or if you're on the road, whatever it is, it's easy to pick up a small compact device and play in little incremental instances than commit yourself to being like, I have to sit down, load up a game. It feels daunting to get back in. I don't remember where I was in the game. I'm a big fan of small handhelds. They're king for me. Think about what your goals are in life and then think about what the things are inhibiting you from achieving that goal. For example, I knew that I wanted to read more in 2025, but what was inhibiting me? What was inhibiting me was that I was reading more nonfiction or theological books that was burning me out. And the format that I was reading was typically a hardcover book, which I just do not like the feel of. Instead, when I started to read more fiction, I started to have more compact books that I'd carry with me everywhere. Now, all of a sudden, in the matter of like 2 or 3 weeks, I've crushed through The Hobbit, Fellowship of the Ring, and Two Towers. And so, and then that got me interested. Okay, if I like this, then do I like thriller books, or do I like horror books, or do I like mystery? And then now everything is now enveloped in a way that has me reading more. If you're saying, I want to make videos more, I want to do these things that are more creative, sometimes I might be getting a small keyboard. I have this Pebble Keys 2 K380S, and what is the brand? Logi, L-O-G-I, Logi. Maybe sometimes that means that if you want to edit more, then you need to set up something where you can actually transport your laptop or your keyboard everywhere with you where you go so that you can work on things incrementally. Also, think about your motivations. If your motive is to just be able to play more video games because you're feeling nostalgic, what is inhibiting you? What is prohibiting you? It might be that you have kids. It might be because you travel a lot. Maybe then, to itch your nostalgic bone, that's why you need a small device like a Miu Mini that you can load on your favorite games that you played over time. Then when you want to play incrementally, when you're at a conference and you go to your car and you're decompressing, boom, you pop this thing out, play for a little bit. You're thinking about going up to Breckenridge, Colorado with your friends, or you're going to LA for a girls trip. Now all of a sudden you can pass around the device because y'all grew up playing Bratz. And now all of a sudden it's a collective feeling and a happy feeling. I love compact devices. And I was just cracking up, looking at the things that I own and realizing, man, what a theme that I have here. And so once again, I hope that you can feel inspired overall. You might not like compact devices, and that's okay. Think about what are the things that are a barrier towards your goals. And whatever that barrier is, take the step today to overcome it. Thank you so much for watching. Go do something cool. Stay hydrated. Drink water while doing it. And I'll see you next time.